How is it that an idea turns to an impulse, turns to a rendezvous, turns to a manifestation? How do vibrational things become actualized? And you have to know that they are, because you look around your world and there is so much that is around you that you see, but that's what trips you up, because you are so accustomed to looking at what is, that when you are asking for something that isn't, your evaluation of it not yet being there causes you to emit a vibration that keeps it from being obvious to you. And we know how you like your actualized world. You like your manifested world. But we want you to move yourself into the mindset of the vibrational universe in which you are focused. And if you can begin to accept yourself primarily as vibrational, where you are aware of the vibration that you are emitting, if you will care about your guidance system, your emotions, which indicate the vibration that you are emitting, and even more important, indicate the vibration that you are emitting with your thought right here, right now, in any moment in time, and the vibration of your source, the vibration of your inner being. More important, the vibration of all that you have been asking for. More important, the vibration of what you have actually vibrationally already become. You see, when life causes you to desire something more than is manifested, the process begins. But at first it's so subtle, you don't know that it's happening. So you're taking score, you're saying, where is it? Where is it? Where is he? Where is she? And so we began describing to you this vibrational reality. We called it a vortex. Your vortex. We wrote a whole book about it. We so wanted you to accept the vibrational beginnings of the things that you were asking for. And then you, and we understand why, began saying, all right, Abraham, we will accept your silly premise that there is a vibrational reality that we can't see yet, or hear yet, or smell, or taste, or touch. But just tell me, how do I get my money out of the vortex and into the bank? How do I turn that vibration to a reality that is tangible? And you know, it's right for you to care about the tangible. It's right for you to care about what's manifested, because you are on the leading edge of thought. You came here for vibration to come to its fullest fruition. And so we're not for a moment trying to talk you into settling for what isn't yet, to get you to put up with the absence of the things that you want. We want you to have all of the things that you want. We want you to know that if this time-space reality has inspired the desire within you, it can deliver a full manifestation of it to you. It can. But you've got to get into the vibrational place where you can begin receiving the constant insight and impulse and revelation and ideas and guidance the source is giving you all day, every day. And if you're stuck in the step one part, if you just keep asking the question, I really want this, tell me where it is. I don't see it yet, tell me where it is. I really want this, tell me where it is. Tell me where it is. I want it, tell me where it is. If you keep asking that, if you hold yourself steadily in that asking step, you don't allow yourself to get into the receiving mode. And even though Source is saying, here it is, this will lead you to it, here's a piece of it, this is part of it, because Source is guiding you. Hear this. Ooh, such good words for you to hear and such good understanding for you to grasp. Source is constantly guiding you through and around and over and under the resistance that you have put on your own trail. So Source doesn't say, oh, not ready yet. Let's just settle down here and wait. Source just keeps saying, there. We'll try this. Because when you ask your inner being and all of us, and all who you have ever known who have been physically focused, hear your request, take stock of where you are in relationship to it, and begin offering very specific guidance about the path of least resistance to help you to get from where you are to the fullness of what you are asking for. No judgment about how much stuff you've thrown on your path. No judgment about how much resistance you've been practicing. Just steady guidance to help you get over and under it and around it and through it. Because you're supposed to get what you want. So if there's anything that's not happening for you quickly, it's because you've got some thoughts that are contradicting it. You've got some thoughts that holds you in a frequency that keeps you from being aware of the ideas that are coming. Have you ever been driving and you just get an impulse to change lanes, and right after you do, you realize that something was about to happen that would have affected you, not maybe run you off the road, but it was just better that you changed lanes when you did, because your inner being has a broader view. Your inner being always knows where you are in proximity to everything else. And most importantly, your inner being always knows where you stand in proximity to all the things that you're asking for. It's our promise to you that today your vibration will shift in the direction of who you really are, and that from this moment forward, things will be different for you because of this vibrational change that is taking place. But most important is for you to understand how it is that this vibrational frequency does change. What focus is required from you in order to maintain balance with who you really are. This isn't supposed to be work, and this is not a lecture on how to get it right. This is a conversation about who you are, the blessed beings that you are, the creative geniuses that you are, how you came into this physical time-space reality for the express purpose of being inspired to new ideas that you are supposed to live the full fruition of. There's not one thing that you have ever desired that should not be fully being experienced by you. And all day, every day, new desires are being born, and every one of them is supposed to be being satisfied by you. So often you have a desire and you think you just want the fast track from where you are to the fulfillment of that desire, because you've decided that your life would be so much better once you are there. But that was not what you came into this about. You wanted the journey along the way. You wanted the insights along the way. You wanted the fun along the way. You wanted the feeling of expansion. You wanted the feeling of knowing. You wanted to fine-tune your ability to focus. You wanted to watch yourself dancing in concert with the entire universe. You wanted to know that as soon as you think it, that other thinkers are thinking with you. You wanted to feel the bigness of the thought, the momentum of the thought. You wanted to feel the fun of things evolving. You wanted to watch the cooperative components come into place. You wanted your hands in this clay. You wanted to mold this experience with your own creative hands. We want you to return to the zest and expectation that you felt when you decided to come this time into this time-space reality, into this body, into this personality, into this being, into these opportunities, into this expanding you. You never get it done. And you cannot get it wrong, but you are supposed to be having way more fun than most anyone you know is having. You're supposed to be way more proud of yourself and others, way more exhilarated about the possibilities, and breathless about the cooperative universe that is here to help you toward anything that matters to you. So,
I have a long-term vision of what I am creating, but I get sidestepped on a daily basis with the short term. I don't really feel like doing this particular step right now. I don't really feel like doing this particular thing today. On multiple subjects.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
I want to be really sleek and toned and in shape, but I just seem to never feel like working out today, and it's always today. Or I want this one particular company to build it to $100 million company, but I don't ever feel like doing the email marketing campaign today, and it's always today. So I just have been a little bit stuck in
But the question that we have is, what do you feel like doing? Are you feeling like doing something?
So it varies. So some days, yes, and I'm living a really good life, but some days, no, I don't feel like doing anything.
We've been saying a lot recently. The last several gatherings, we've been really emphasizing that we would encourage that everyone do 30% less, 40% less. We've been encouraging that people do 50% less, 60%. We've been encouraging that people do about 70% less, 75% less of what they have been doing. And more contemplating, more visualizing, more taking pleasure from life, more vibrational work, less action work. And so that's part of what's happening to you, is that you're beginning to understand where your true leverage is. And it's a hard adjustment because you know from past experience, from watching yourself and watching others, that when you really apply yourself, that you can make some things happen. But when you're talking about things of this magnitude, when you're talking about that sort of leverage, now you've got to tap into a vibrational leverage. Some years ago, Jerry read a book, many years ago. Alan Laken had written it, and it was a self-help book, and it was called How to Get Control of Your Time in Life. And the only thing that Jerry recalled from the book that he then talked to Esther about was a process called the Swiss cheese process. And what the basis of it was that there are some things that you can accomplish very quickly. It only takes a minute or 10 minutes or maybe even an hour. So if it's on your list today, you can get it done if you apply yourself. You can use things like willpower and diligence and determination to make yourself do those things. And you can get a reasonable number of those done. But there are those larger things like writing a book or getting yourself in shape or creating a financial empire, or even doing your income taxes, or cleaning out your garage. In other words, those things that you're not going to do in an hour, that would take maybe more than a day or maybe more than a week. And so those are the things that you tend to not apply yourself at. You procrastinate. You don't make any effort. And so he suggested that you take those big things and you break them down into smaller things. So Esther takes a big piece of paper and she puts holes all over it, making it look like Swiss cheese, and then writes all of the different aspects of everything about this project. What's it going to take to do all of this? And then when she looks at it, she just picks one of those and asks herself if she feels like doing it. And something that she has discovered is that she often does feel like doing it. She often feels like doing it because the overwhelmment factor isn't there, and the rational factor that says, I'm not going to be able to begin to accomplish this all right now. You kept saying, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now. But a piece of it may be. But here's the thing. This is the piece that we want to put into this. Is there anything on this Swiss cheese list that I want to do right now? Not that I need to do right now. Is there any piece of this that I'm called to? And what Esther's discovered is, yeah, she keeps feeling called to that and called to that. And sometimes she'll sit and she'll complete 3 or 4 things in one day as she's moving about because she wants to do it, not because she needs to do it. And that really is the key. It's another way to overcome resistance. It's sort of like the placemat process that we talked about before, where in a feeling of overwhelmment, delegating it to the universe, don't assign it to yourself. So, did anything shift in that conversation?
It did. It did, just the feeling of, because everything that I feel like I must do next for this one particular company, Lesson Stop, is, I don't want to do. But I'm certain that if I lay it out in a map, the way that you suggested, there will be things.
So what's this conversation saying? Always follow your path of least resistance. Why take the path of least resistance? Because it's the only choice you have. And here's the big piece. Your inner being knows what is the path of least resistance. So you've got to give yourself permission to take that path of least resistance. And most of you don't want to do that because then you define yourself as lazy or inappropriate or unfocused or unwilling, and that's just not the case.